Welcome to this day on Curriculum for Excellence for all of our secondary staff in the City of Edinburgh. Today aims to provide opportunities for increased professional dialogue, for collaboration, in order to build confidence as we move forward with the implementation of Curriculum for Excellence, particularly in the areas of S3 into S4. I wanted to take this opportunity to share with you some key messages and also to outline the central support which has been undertaken to support your work in schools. The focus of today is around S3 based on Level 3 and Level 4 outcomes as part of the Broad General Education, articulating with an S4 which prepares young people for qualifications. We want our learners in S3 and S4 to have a rich, motivating learning experience, one where there's breadth and depth and increased personalisation and choice as they move from S3 into S4. It is important that we deliver our curriculum in S3 and S4 across the four contexts of learning, that being discrete subject areas, interdisciplinary learning, opportunities for achievement, and the ethos and wider life of the school. And that we ensure that as we move towards new qualifications, there is still space within the curriculum for this to take place. The aims of Curriculum for Excellence are probably worth restating. They are about raising standards, about closing the gap, and about preparing our young people for the future. And our young people's futures will be very different to ours. They will have a varied career path with increased global competition, and it's our job to ensure that they are fully prepared for that world. They're going to require critical skills. They're going to require to be creative, to have positive attitudes, and to have a high degree of interpersonal skills. As we focus on today around curriculum structures, we have in our schools a number of presentations between 5 and 8 proposed for S4. We've worked with head teachers to ensure that they have, in full consultation with their staff and parents, come to this conclusion, and we understand that all schools are on a journey. It is not necessarily unfair that if you're presenting 8 in your curriculum course choice, that all of your young people are studying for 8 qualifications. We're looking for increased flexibility within the system so that we can meet the needs of individual learners who will choose different pathways. So for some young people, they may be sitting 8. For other young people, they may be sitting 5. For other young people, they may not be sitting any because they may be embarking on 2-year higher courses. The challenge for those schools who are intending offering 8 subjects in S4 is how do you retain the integrity of the principles of the S3 curriculum as described in the Broad General Education and avoid ending up with the status quo where S3 is a year 1 of a 2-year course. We have an opportunity here to move away from our previous assessment-driven curriculum to one which focuses on creating space for learning, for deep learning, and providing rich and motivating experiences. We have an opportunity to use assessment appropriately at key points to support learning rather than having an assessment-driven system. And I think it would be a sad day if we returned to the status quo of having a 2-year middle school curriculum. Of course, it's recognised that within the S3 curriculum, there are going to be blurring at the edges between the S3 curriculum as described in Level 3 and 4 outcomes and our preparation for new qualifications. And that's correct, that's to be expected, that provides progression in learning. We have commissioned work across all subject areas to support exemplifying how we build the structure of a curriculum in terms of courses and programmes where S3 is delivered as part of the Broad General Education, articulating with S4, preparing for new qualifications. Recently, I've been to schools to visit and speak to teaching staff, and I've been really impressed by the enthusiasm and commitment. I've had open and honest dialogue from them. I've asked them what's working well. I've asked them what the challenges are, but every teacher that I've spoken to has found solutions to those challenges.
I think they're drawing together a lot of the aspects of positive teaching that we've been doing originally, but they're putting it more in context. For example, I'm a drama teacher. I'm looking at working with the English department in terms of cross-curricular, which would have happened anyway, but now there's a definite through line of how to go about that, and it links into other aspects as well.
Definitely, it's really quite interesting now that we can, there's more of an emphasis on making sure that we do these things. I think a lot of the time in the past, good practice does it anyway, but now there's an expectation to do it.
Sort of level of personalisation and choice that the Curriculum for Excellence allows has sort of been a real positive for the PE department this year, because you're able to offer the personalisation and choice like a lot younger, in first and second year. And I think it's sort of been shown that boys and girls sort of drop off in terms of the amount of physical activity they do is around that age. So if pupils are getting more autonomy and the sort of activities that they want to choose, then I think that kind of benefits everybody.
In science, we can make things more in the context of other subjects. I think it gives us more time, and we've got more opportunities of thinking about how we can apply science in other subjects, not just maths, but into things like PE and into drama and into all the subjects really. And I think we'll see the benefit of that as in years to come as the curriculum becomes more integrated, more cross-curricular, and the kids can take these skills that they're learning in different subjects and bring them together in their overall education.
I just started a couple of months ago teaching in Edinburgh City Council, and it's been fantastic. It's been really refreshing to see people share the knowledge, the resources that they have so easily. It's fantastic, and I think we need to do more of that.
I think building upon that, coming from a pupil support background, I think it's really important that we're making more connections with the world of work and how real it is, and making that comparison. And I think Curriculum for Excellence has brought in a lot of opportunity to go about that and to keep the similarity. So the progression from S3 into the qualifications, they've already had opportunities with companies outside to come in, and you've got more flexibility within the deeper curriculum.
The challenges are probably challenges that have always been there, is the sense of am I assessing these pupils right, and am I getting the levels correct? And even though we have had some sort of direction from the SQ in terms of how levelling works and where it comes from, I think there's still a nervousness about assessing pupils. I think it needs a lot more sort of inter-school and sort of leading a lot more getting together of whole groups of subjects to make sure that we have some sort of standard that we know is going to be correct.
Yeah, in PE we've got together in the council and working groups to look at the reporting and assessment, and it's just kind of developing a wee bit of continuity from school to school and teacher to teacher, so people can feed back to their schools saying, we don't know what a level 3D is, but this is what they think at different schools, at Tynecastle or Royal High. So it's being able to share the experiences, and we've managed to do that a wee bit in PE so far, and we're still developing it, but just getting the continuity so that if a child was to change schools, they're not going to change levels dramatically just because they've moved from one building to another.
You're in the process of delivering S3 in the Brave New World. What's your experience currently? How are you feeling about that?
A steep learning curve is a lot of work, and I don't think we should shy away from that by saying that it's easy, because it isn't. I think, like with any new curriculum, anything new, you're always going to get apprehension and questions being raised, but I think that's a good thing. We should be questioning how we're going to solve these issues and go forward. And one of the particular things that I would like more information on is the assessment. How are we going to assess the kids' progress? And I think that's something that I think we should all be asking.
National 4 and 5 and the planning for that, people will be a lot more comfortable having spent time with colleagues from other schools, and I think what's coming up in the next couple of weeks is going to be invaluable, because it will either let you know that your planning so far to date is going in the right direction, or it might just give you a nudge in another direction where you're in a situation where you can have a look at what other people are coming up with. It's not a situation in the city where people are hiding away and keeping their ideas to themselves. I think as a city, certainly in PE, we are very good at talking to each other and sharing information, and having everyone at the one site, I think will be really important and will help people kick on to the next stage of planning.
I'm running the S2 Ideal block for the PE side of things, which has been very successful. So it's obviously PE based, but it's bringing in history, art and literacy and numeracy into the project as well. And S2's opted into it at the start of the year, and that's been really successful so far.
And we've been looking at the Holocaust through the media, so it's bringing a lot of literacy as well, but looking at the history side of it, and then looking at how the Holocaust has been portrayed through film as well. So I think the pupils do really enjoy it, but it's only one block a week, so I think it can be very successful. But I think the wider cross-curricular interdisciplinary learning on a kind of day-by-day basis is not really happening. It's happening in these specific
Totally
allocated
agree.
times, which is good, and it's a good start. But I think perhaps pupils, I don't know, I'm not sure they're seeing the links as much
No,
as,
I totally
as they
agree.
could.
I would still say a lot of the idea work that we do is in the younger years, first and second year, and it's not really travelling up the school because we're all panicking about National 4-5 hires and we don't have the time
Don't have
to do
time.
it.
Yeah, there's no time just now because we're all concentrating on our development and making sure that we're getting it right for third year. I don't think that we're really thinking particularly long term about interdisciplinary.
I recognise there are genuine concerns that teachers are raising, the key one being around time. The Scottish Government, you may be aware, provided 2 additional in-service days and also a sum of money to each local authority. City of Edinburgh received $215,000 and all of that money has gone directly to schools to support the implementation of new qualifications. To support assessment, we've developed significant aspects in each subject area. Significant aspects describe secure. What does secure learning look like for a young person in each subject area at each level? It's to support teachers' holistic judgment of a young person's achievement rather than a tick box approach against E's and O's. We're also developing the Edinburgh Assessment Resource, and this aims to take the best assessment materials from both the NAR and from the work done in schools in order to support assessment linked directly to course organisers and to E's and O's. And as we move forward into supporting assessment for new qualifications, SQA will continue to provide further exemplification, and we will also nominate between 60 to 120 staff to work with SQA over the forthcoming years to support assessment in moderation, and that will help us move more quickly to a shared understanding of the standard. If the staff I met in schools are representative of the staff in all of our schools, then I think we're in a good place. I know that we're providing a high quality education for our young people, and I want to thank you for your continued commitment and support in delivering Curriculum for Excellence, and I'm confident that in doing so, we will all make a difference to the lives of our young people. And if you had one word to describe Curriculum for Excellence?
2 words for me: Paulo Freire in the classroom.
Creativity.
Diversity.
Engaging.
If you were to describe Curriculum for Excellence and using one word, what would you say?
Interesting.
Inclusive.
Challenging.
Individualised. Confusing.
And if you had one word to describe Curriculum for Excellence, what would it be?
An experience.
Breadth.
Personalisation.
Challenge.
One word to describe Curriculum for Excellence.
Exciting.
Innovative.
Confusing.
Creative.
Interesting.
Open.